My friends, we've been lied to again by another one of our guitar heroes. And I believe it was purposely done. Let me explain. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with getting the sound that Ozzy Osbourne had or Zakk Wylde had on the No More Tears album. The guitar sound, that is. But no matter how much money I spent on amps, pedals, and guitars, I never really got close to those thick, rich solos. I later find out that, well, he was overdubbing or running two guitar solos over top of each other. And now today, my man Angus Young, well, he did the exact same thing to me. He lied to me. You see, I love AC/DC just as much as any one of you out there. But one of my favorite songs was a song called Who Made Who. Sure you heard of it. What was weird about that song is it never sounded right to me, ever. What I mean by that is when I played it on guitar. You see, growing up, we didn't have YouTube. Didn't have TikTok, Instagram, or any of that stuff. So you had to rely on two things. One, a half decent ear, or two, a really crappy written out tab book. They were all really crappy. Getting back to what I was saying about Who Made Who. There was a guitar part in there that just never seemed right when we played it live. This guitar part right here. Now, if you go online, you're gonna see a few different ways of playing this. One is finger picking, which is not the right way. I think I dropped this pick on the ground, it tastes disgusting. So the finger picking was like... You get the point. But if you ever notice, when you look up AC/DC Who Made Who live version, it is very hard to find any good shots or even any video of AC/DC playing this song live. Not really any with Angus Young and where his finger position is. And for what you can tell in the video a little bit, it looks like he's playing it up here, but a lot of people, and this is where it really doesn't sound right, is playing it down here. That part sounds right. Then they go down here. See how it goes? Oh, it's... Now the other way of playing it is the same way I showed you with the finger picking, only with the pick, and you want to turn your distortion down and you'll get this. Up here. But then there's this weird jump where you're going to go back to the beginning. So it goes. And it just takes everything out of the momentum that you were building in that riff. Now, before I show you something that blew my mind, I want to let you know that I think the way he's playing this live is this way with a pick. Now, the reason I know he's playing it this way live is because, well, there's really no other way to play it. This doesn't sound right. And he's not tuned up differently because he goes... But how is he getting that crisp, clean tone on the record? Why does it not sound muffled like this? I mean, if you're playing it live and it's a little bit of muffle and you don't hear it perfectly, who cares? It's a live version. Believe it or not, that's an actual very small part of the song. So the audience isn't going to notice that this thing isn't perfect. But when you listen to it on a stereo or if you listen to it in your earbuds, you want to make sure that that sound is crisp, clean, and perfect. In other words, a real nice-like sound. So how did he do it without playing it like this or the other way that I showed you? Well, I came across a video the other day which sort of blew my mind. And it talked about a different tuning that they use on the record compared to when they play it live. And when I watched it, I said to myself, he's 100% right. You see, when you're recording a record, it doesn't matter how you play it as long as it sounds good. Nobody's seeing you doing it. Then they just take things and slice it up and put it in one thing and put it over here and add this effect and blah, 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 blah. So let me show you how he did it and how it sounds a world of difference. So the first thing he did was he took his D and he tuned it down to a C. Come on, baby. you're gonna take your E string, you're gonna tune that up to a G. So now, listen to this. Do you hear how much cleaner and crisper that is? You're getting those note pick attacks on that thing. Let me give you a different look here. I'll show you the strumming. I'm just down picking, but you could do the alternate. But listen again, how much cleaner that is. Now, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is this allows you to sound exactly like the record sounds. Full of attack, thick, rich, hammer-on, pull-offs, and that's great. The problem is you can't play this live, because now, if I go to do the... Sounds like a grunge song. Kind of like it. Or even if I was going to play the C power chord. So the bummer is, even though that's the right way of playing it, you still got to play it the standard tuning so you can play it live like Angus would. But if you think about this, this is actually pretty freaking genius. I mean, never as a guitar player have I ever thought, well, it would sound better one way tuned, but I can't do that live, so I have to tune it. It's just the weirdest thing. But that's the genius of Angus Young and AC/DC. So I'm giving a shout out on this video to Mr. Rob Galley. He's the one that came out with this and put this up on the channel, and I just happened to see it. And to be quite frank with you, I think it should have way more views than it actually does. His video. So that's why I'm going to leave a link in the description below for Mr. Rob Galley's channel, and I'll let you see how he explains it and how he does it. But good on him. I think somebody finally figured out how to actually do this the correct way, but it still doesn't make our life any easier. But if you want to make your life easier when it comes to getting Zakk Wylde's tone, check out this video right there, and we'll be back with more videos soon.